Hey, welcome back into Mindset. Today we're going to be talking about financial catfishing. I'm only smiling because it's just a funny way to describe it.
Catfishing.
Catfishing.
It's big. This is in the news.
It is. So catfishing in general, people know through like social media and dating sites, but financial catfishing is basically when someone fakes their wealth, okay, not their identity or how they look or anything like that, but their wealth to impress or date a partner. Not too dissimilar to traditional catfishing, but in the financial realm. So we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about the tactics they use, how to identify them. We're going to talk about a couple specific things that we've seen to kind of keep your eye on.
Yeah, some ways to make sure you're actually dating who you think you're dating.
Yep.
And who you're actually getting into business with. And the business side we're going to talk about is if you have money, people are going to target you for it.
Yeah.
And so,
or you're going to be labeled in a certain way.
Like in this digital age, people are reaching out to random people to start relationships, personal, but also business.
Yeah.
And you could be getting involved. This catfishing style that we're going to talk about, people representing, I have millions, but I just need some help to make it through for the next month, and then I'll pay you back. These are the kind of things that the scams, people that are getting targeted, that kind of thing.
But outside of the scammers, let's get into point number one on this, okay? We're calling it scammers, but outside of this, it's just, in general, someone pretending to be someone you would trust. So they're automatically thinking, okay, this person would think this character that I'm lying about would be someone they can trust, right? Like that's your first indicator. Now, I also believe this. I was raised by mostly women. I'm around my mom, my two sisters. Like women's intuition is
pretty
real.
Good.
I think it's real. And so I think, I'm speaking from a male here, but like when you're dating someone, you can look across the table and be like, he's telling me this, but this doesn't add up. Right? So like believing in your gut's a big deal. One of the first ways to discern whether or not someone's trying to scam you or financial catfish you. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, for sure. But I think a lot of the tactics that they use are like because we live in such a digital era, they'll look up, maybe your Instagram profile or your Facebook and find out like who you're friends with. They can see, what posts you like, what you're interested in. And so they can like create this false sense of commonality.
So it's going to sound a little ignorant because you and I didn't grow up in this digital world where we were dating, right? Is in the world right now, when you get asked out to you're married now, but when you get asked out to a date or your friends are doing that, right? You can pull up a lot of details on a person, huh?
Oh, for sure. I've done the research like for my friends.
Yeah.
So
Well, you forget I married later.
That's true. So you're okay.
And I met my wife online.
Did you stalk her?
I didn't
like
know.
Digitally, but she probably
no. But like when you're dating with them, like you can Google them now or like Instagram and figure out who they follow and all this kind of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
Okay.
You Google, at least, and I'll say this as an older person. Like when I was dating,
you're not old, Jared.
I for sure Googled the person and be like, there's some stuff you can get in a brief that you're not digging in.
Interesting.
But there's so much information about you, and because as a guy, you're like, what can I get to talk about? Oh, she went to the Renaissance Fair. Oh, okay, I'll talk about that.
Aww.
Well, hey,
I love how you went with that. That's
because I love the Renaissance Fair.
I know you do. We love Jared.
But it's really easy to get a lot of your persona. And it's even easier in business, LinkedIn's and
but
public
true on the
records
business side.
and that
but it's
kind
just
of
so
thing.
funny. You're using a thing like Instagram. The joke is, right, it's just the highlight reels. So we're using that as a basis of.
It's not even that. It's like you can look at the posts they've liked, who they follow, what accounts. So I can be like, okay, if I'm stalking Jared and I'm like, okay, like what is he into? And I see all these Renaissance accounts. Then I'm going to be like, okay, how can I research stuff about the Renaissance Fair? Because I don't go to that.
Oh, so like you want to learn. Yeah, so it can be a helpful tool. You can learn about this person that you kind of care for. And
and it shows like your mutuals. So we can be like, oh my gosh, we didn't know that.
Person.
Yeah, that whole bit.
But I didn't have that.
You can look up now. There's free sites where I can, if I get your name, let's say I have one address or the town.
Yeah.
On the free parts of these sites, I can get your past addresses. I can get family members and connection to.
Oh, snap.
Here's a first site. This is like one of the third links. I just Googled you.
Okay.
Is this you? No, first I want to tell you, is this you?
It was, yeah. It was. That was my old address.
Okay. This is.
Yep, it's my middle name.
Okay. Do you recognize any of these phone numbers? Ending with.
Yep, it's my cell number. Yeah.
So there's like six
Old
more
house number.
numbers you have.
Wow.
Known as. Did you ever live on?
Yep. It's my dad's house.
Relatives?
It's my second stepmom's mom. That's my sister. That's my dad. That's my sister. That's my wife.
My wife.
So there's probably like 15 names associated with you.
Wait, what website is
so
this?
This is the third link that I've gotten: relatives, past addresses, phone numbers, and this is the free part. If I pay for this, it'll give arrest record, a full detailed workup of this, and it costs $20. I could be like, hey man, we were neighbors on so and so drive years ago. I used to see you. Like, oh,
that's trippy.
So this is how easy personal information is to get. Be ultra careful about who you're talking to. That you're like, I don't remember you.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was in math class with you back at high school.
I don't know that I like all this digital world nowadays, but
website is
it is what it is.
It's called. It says, but look for full background.
I'm Googling you guys in case you guys ever got arrested. You're not telling me.
Terrifying.
Keep
vigilant.
So like we just talked about, scammers or people that are trying to like financially catfish you, they pretend to be someone you trust. So some things to look at here. They might share a lot of your common interests, right? So they did some of this research. You know what I mean? So they're trying to relate to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll build a relationship but won't, meet up with you, for example. This is an online situation. So these are all things to be aware of, making sure if you're dating someone, looking to invest with someone. This is not just in the relationship standpoint. This is also just in the investing world too. Like, be mindful here, right?
They seem to know more about you.
Yep.
Too early. Red flag.
Producer Kira wrote something down here. Love bomb.
Producer Kira.
Yeah, she got the title.
Sorry, I was looking myself up.
You were looking. Okay.
Stay with us here.
Stay with us here,
it's
producer.
all about you.
Yeah. Love bomb? What's a love bomb?
Like, they're obsessed with you. They won't leave you alone. Like, on a lot of these dating websites, they'll...
Stage 5 clinger.
Stage 5 clinger.
Yeah.
They'll make you feel like they're all in. So, as a girl, it'll be like, oh my gosh, this guy's really interested in me.
Yep.
But they just don't want to let you go or, like, have a second to maybe talk to other people about, like, some funky details, You have the goggles.
Or
Got the
I've
goggles.
had people reach out to me, like, on LinkedIn and just seem too aggressive. I'm like, wait, what do you want here?
Like, they're overly nice and how,
we could do some great things, and you don't respond. It's like, hey, just want to follow up. Like,
and by the way, if you're watching this, and just so you know, like, I work with clients, and I've had at least one a year. I have a situation where, unfortunately, clients they tell me these stories, and like, it can happen to anybody. It's amazing. It sounds like, oh, that'll never happen to me. I'm like, dude, I've seen it happen to people you would not expect it to happen to. You know what I mean? Sadly, they're getting really good. So this is important. Like, don't. Protect your money, protect your heart. You know what I mean? Make sure you know what you're going at. This digital world makes it kind of wonky.
And don't be ashamed, because it does happen to a lot of people. So, like, don't feel embarrassed if it happens to you. It's important to talk to people about it.
So the big one here on kind of when they pretend to be someone you trust, is point number one here, is they're going to build trust in you, right? The reason they're doing this is all of a sudden, out of kind of nowhere, seemingly, they'll all of a sudden ask for money. And that's going to seem innocent. It's going to seem naive. They're going to give you some sob story like, oh, my car got something and I just need $1,000 or whatever. Like, this is where they get you, because now they caught you in this, like, oh, I've cared for you, you can care for me, and I just need this one help, right? This is, or if it, I'm saying back to the discernment standpoint of that women's intuition in particular. I'm not just saying women, but men too. Like, you got to kind of listen to that a little bit and be like, nah, and be okay with saying no. Like, that's a big thing in life. Be okay with saying no.
Set boundaries,
right? And usually it'll come in the form of some story. Likely it'll sound somewhat believable, but somewhat out of the blue, right? But they'll also be a little intimidating, or, maybe even in a fearful way, like there's something dire going to happen to them if you don't help them. And all of a sudden now it plays on your morals, your good nature. This is the kind of financial catfishing, and this point number one of this building the trust with you. That's how they do this. That is alarming.
Yeah.
Yeah. They also might try to pretend to be a company that you know and trust. I feel like we get a lot of emails or texts with this. We'll be like,
that looks really close to a company you know.
Yes, and I've almost fallen for it before, because I was like, oh my gosh, what? Like, I never miss payments.
Yeah.
So, but I backtracked how that company typically contacts me, and it was different. Sometimes you have to, like, reverse search, which brings us into what you can do.
What you can do.
If it is in a relationship and you can see their profile picture, you can reverse Google search that image to verify where that came from.
I'm really good at technology. I would probably know how to do that.
Exactly.
You're a pro.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, you live in the world of the internet and you can Google how to do that if you don't know how to.
You'd be surprised how my ADD kicks in.
Comment below and Brad will send you instructions.
I would not know how to do that.
Personally. Most importantly, don't act urgently.
Yep.
Maybe take a moment, contact your financial advisor if you have questions about some.
I was just going to say, that'd be the point I bring up. And I had a conversation last year with a client who, when they say it out loud and you hear it, you're like, you're aware this is like totally scamming, but he was sincere. He's like, I need money. I got to send it to them. They locked up some things of profits I do have. I'm like, those are not real. That's all made up, right? You got to kind of help them get there. And I do think the point of 2 points, reaching out is key. And the person you should reach out to someone in the financial professional world. And if you don't have that, this is another reason why having a financial professional in your corner for just life in general, wealth building is a good thing.
Right.
Yep.
And last but not least, and I think this is really important, but if it seems that it's too good to be true, it probably is.
I love that statement. It's the truth.
Things to live by.
It's really simple.
I'll let Amy and I talk about this all the time. Trust but verify.
Ronnie.
In dating and in a business relationship, you can verify other ways. So dating, somebody tells you a story, you can look that up. But even more like in a business, if somebody's representing, I'm with whatever Inc. Rather than the links they send in emails and things like that, go to websites, call their directories. Like, is this person actually there?
Yeah.
Always verify. It's not stalking or creepy to verify somebody's information.
Kind of talk about the first one. Unfortunately, they're going to try to build trust with you, right? And then specifically when they get to the urgency of these things or how they're paying it, usually it's going to come in specific ways, right? What are some of the specific ways that they kind of go through?
Typically, they are all untraceable payment methods. So gift cards are really popular. Like we
I've
hear
heard that before.
About your car warranties expired. Yeah. Like it's kind of a joke now, but they typically demand gift cards, wire transfers, cryptocurrencies, cash payments, and they might ask you to deliver a check to a suspicious location. Like a lot of them are typically like nail salons or massage parlors, and they may ask you to put a random or unrelated note on the check. So, you know, if it's anything like
this is what I'm talking about, though. Even someone maybe that's healthy or unhealthy or like bamboozled, right? There's an ick factor here, right?
Yeah.
I really lean into how God designed us. There is something in you that'll be like, that's not right. And all I'm saying is to lean into that a little bit and just don't immediately go to, oh, no, I like this guy, or I like this girl, or, you know what I mean, in the relationship side, or I have to do this because of da-da-da-da. Like, give it space to be like,
I agree with you. Whether like we would call it the Holy Spirit talking to some people, like trust your gut, women's intuition. I think there is something that we know.
Those sayings are around for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know what I mean? It's true.
Yeah.
So that's the best defense on all this. It's kind of hard. It sounds like, oh, really, Brad? That's what you're going to say on your show is trust your gut. But I mean, we can give you the tools here, but they're getting really good, unfortunately.
It's a stereotype because it's true.
And what you can do.
Tell us, Kira.
If you're in the middle of a scam that you're saying, red flag, red flag.
Red flag, red flag.
What do you do?
Stop immediately. Don't pay. Break off all communication, pretty much. And then report fraud. It's really important to break off communication, report them, block them. If for some reason this happens and the gift cards go through, the wire transfers happen, all that kind of stuff, you can call like the gift card company and they can block those payments if you do it in time.
Interesting.
So there's, some more, there's like a part two, like if this does happen, there's ways to also intercept those transfers. So
and banks are pretty helpful now in credit card companies.
They are, because they know it's real.
Yeah.
If this has happened to you, or even if you're going through it, or just you've been around it, don't let this define you. Like, it sounds weird to say it that way, but like it can hit a point in like your identity or your worth and be like, oh man, I'm such an idiot, or you have all this like really negative talk. Like, this is a very common thing. So don't get down on yourself if this happens. Like, just go forward.
Approximately 34 to 41%, which is quite high, of American adults have experienced financial fraud this past year.
That is a staggering number.
Yeah.
Now that can range from $10, $20 to God knows what in dollar amounts, but I will say from experience with clients who have shared stories where it's happened before or whatever, someone who even got bamboozled for $20, it hurts their soul. You start going like, how did I not see it? And that's what I'm talking about, this negative talk. Like, just be careful.
It's a third to a half, to nearly a half of the U.S. adults have experienced that.
It's crazy. And the other thing too, when it comes to the investing world outside of relationships so much, is this third point I want to make around these early withdrawals or early profits. So like, this is that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Oh yeah, if you want the money back right away, you can totally have it. You see what I'm saying? Like they'll say things like that.
Or
those
you'll actually get a taste.
Yeah. They'll try. Yeah.
Here's a small return. Oh, this is real. Oh, here's more. Yeah. That's when it goes bad.
For sure. Yep. And then, so what they will do, they'll be like, okay, invest in my company, blah, blah, blah. I'll, let you take out a withdrawal at, 6 months instead of after 2 years. And then you'll get that. And they'll be like, okay, but now you have to invest more money.
Yeah.
And then they kind of Ponzi scheme it down the road.
Stealing someone's money like that is it's such a violation.
For sure.
Like it's one thing, like, look, I've had my apartment broke into when I was in college before, and like you get stuff stolen, you feel violated because someone was in your space, your bike is stolen. But when it comes to like, that's because money to people represents their hard work, their savings. Like that's like so low in my mind, but it's so real and it's unfortunate.
Let's be real. You're a vile scum of the earth.
Yeah.
If you're scamming people from their money, especially like older people and taking their retirement funds.
Oh my gosh. Those break my heart. It's so sad.
I agree. It's such a sad thing.
Well, it's scary because a lot of people don't even want to share their stories because, I think there's an element where it makes you not trust yourself, which is really sad.
That's what I'm talking about this negative talk, right? If you're a victim of this, like the worst thing you can do in any trauma in your life, as I've found out, if you take the victim card, but if you take that and then it becomes your identity, it's going to stick with you. Like there's an old saying, right? Don't lose the game twice. You ever heard that in sports analogy? Mm-hmm. Like you're going to lose sometimes, right? But if you carry that loss and that mentality in the next game, the game that you lost once that same game is going to beat you twice, right? And so it's like just because something happened to you, don't let it impact other things in your life. And
if you're a victim, don't be embarrassed. Get angry, fight back. That's what I always say.
Via the right channels.
No, vigilante justice.
He's Batman.
No, but like they're now, like you were saying, the fraud, report it to the police, tell people so they don't get it. Like you shouldn't be embarrassed. Obviously, it happens
to 30 to 40% of people.
Basically everyone.
It's crazy. I know.
I think we all have stories. I know I've experienced it before.
I have too.
So
I have too, and I'm saying this from experience. Like, and I'm in this business, but like I'm still a human.
Yeah.
And I've had this happen to me, and I tell you what, I had to go through some really hard thoughts. I'm like, man, I'm a financial advisor, and I let this happen to me and my wife, like outside of work, just privately. It's crazy.
I want to trust everyone, but I actually trust no one.
Trust but verify.
Let's dissect that later.
Yeah. There's some traumas there.
Here's what you can do. First and foremost, be cautious of what you share. So especially bank account info, credit cards, login info, and then especially, talking about this business partnership side of all of this, when you're co-signing loans, there's a certain extra layer of due diligence with that because now that's your name's on that as well. So that can take your credit, Be
wary of anything you're co-signing.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'll say
or anyone trying to jump on your stuff.
Yeah. I'll say this, and this should go, in my opinion, less for dating. You guys might not agree. But if you're getting into business with somebody and it's like getting serious and you're talking about making money or doing whatever, I would say ask for the financials. If we're about to get into something.
In business.
Yes, in business.
Yeah.
Say like, okay, let me see the accounts. Let's go to the bank. Let's do due diligence. Like people I think sometimes are just like, well, I don't want to like offend him or them. Like, no, ask for that. Verify.
Yeah.
Dating, don't ask for somebody's bank statements.
That's also after NDA. I want to say something loud and clear. There's this thing called non-disclosure agreement after NDA. That's really important because it's a legal document that kind of says it can't be disclosed thereafter.
Right.
On the flip side of that, if you're someone who owns a business or looking to bring on a partner and that partner's trying to financially catfish you, right? You don't want to show them everything. So NDA is a big part of it, but also be mindful of all these red flags and these signs before doing that.
Right.
Okay, just to be clear, it can be flipped around just the same.
100%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So trust but verify. Avoid financial catfishing. It is a real thing. It's out there. Unfortunately, there are stories we hear all the time. We want to at least talk about it. They're going to start building trust with you. They're going to ask you to pay in certain ways, and they're going to talk about, like in the investment world, they're going to talk about early profits, early withdrawals you can make, things like that. So just some red flags to consider, look through. if anything else, just awareness is what we really want to do with this show today. It's just keeping you aware.
Be aware.
Be aware. Be alert.
Be vigilant.
Hope you enjoyed that today. I know it was kind of a shorter one, but we love doing these kind of shows. So thank you for all of our subscribers, for all of our new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. We hope to come at you with a bunch of great content each and every week. You can also follow us on our socials at Mindset with Brad Barrett. And until next week, as always, if you lead with love, it's going to be all right. See you guys.